Welcome to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm your host, Joy Taylor. On today's show, does Russell Westbrook deserve criticism or praise after averaging a triple-double for the season? Plus, Skip explains why it's time for the Cowboys to say goodbye to Dez Bryant. And are the Patriots actually interested in drafting Lamar Jackson? Skip, Shannon, let's get to it. Let's start with Russell Westbrook. He needed 16 rebounds last night to average a triple-double for the second straight season. But there's been talk that Russ is just padding his stats, and Carmelo even joked about it this week. Russ addressed that before the game. Let's take a listen.
A lot of people make jokes about, whatever stat padding or going to get rebounds. If people could get 20 rebounds every night, they would. If people could get 15 rebounds, they would. The people that's talking or saying whatever they need to say, they should try and do it and see how hard it is. Since everybody's so, everybody wants to be talking, and I'm tired of hearing the same old rebound this, stealing rebound, all this. I take pride in what I do. Come out and playing, and I get the ball faster than somebody else get to it. That's just what it is. If you don't want it, I'm gonna get it. Simple as that.
Then Russ went out last night and had a career-high 20 rebounds to become the only player in NBA history to average a triple-double 2 seasons in a row. Whew. He also added 19 assists, but he only scored 6 points. Let's take a listen to Russ about his record after the game.
Russ, last year you did something nobody had done in 55 years, and then you did it again. Can you explain how you're able to do what you do on a night-to-night basis?
I'm very, very thankful and blessed, man, to go out and compete, man. And like I've said many, many times, I don't take this game for granted. I don't take going on the floor and competing for granted.
Shannon, how impressive is this from Russ?
Before you go, allow me to say I am now convinced that Russell Westbrook watches Undisputed faithfully, because I don't know anybody who accused him of stat padding and chasing cheap, stealing rebounds more than this man across from me. So I believe Russ was responding to Shannon Sharpe. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
You could or you could not be right. You might not be. Yep. I believe you are in this case.
I think I'm right.
Skip, this is very impressive, but I'm going to have to put an asterisk by it. And I don't want to not, because I understand what being a professional athlete is about. And to play at the level, Russell Westbrook is great. He's a superstar. But to say that he's not padding his stats, that he's not stealing rebounds, would be disingenuous on my part. Now, as I talk, Skip, they're going to play something in the background. I kind of like doing voiceovers. Did a little TV work once upon a time, and this is what they call a voiceover. And so as I'm talking, this is going to be playing in the background, Skip. Now, Russell Westbrook needed 16 rebounds to get to average this triple-double. Guess what he got, Skip? He had 16 rebounds with 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. The last 2 games, he's had 16 rebounds with the fourth quarter still to be played. Skip. Russell Westbrook in his first 8 years, you know how many games he had of 15-plus rebounds? 6. In his last 2 years, he has 22. So either he wasn't playing hard then or he's playing hard now. Which is it, Skip? I need to know. Now, in the last 2 years, Russell Westbrook has led the entire NBA. An NBA that had a guy that lead the league in rebounding, Andre Drummond at 16, DeAndre Jordan at 15.2. He had more missed free throw rebounds than both of those guys. A 6'3" guard. Now, Skip, what's going on? Now, last 2 years, he led the league in missed free throw rebounding. Kevin Durant's last year, Russell Westbrook was 49. So either he didn't care or he wasn't hustling then, or he's hustling more now. I just need to know which it is. I think you and I both know. But as I'm doing this voiceover, Joy, and the people at home can watch this in the monitor, they see what I'm talking about. Now, Billy Donovan says he instructs his team to box out, let Russ get the ball because he can push the ball up faster than they can. So you mean to tell me that if Russell's standing at half court, Steven Adams gets the rebound and passes it to him, the ball will move faster with Russ getting the rebound under the basket and going to half court? I thought you can move the ball faster than someone can rotate. That's what the Warriors tell me. You can be fast, but you can't move faster than that ball. But Russell Westbrook has these unique powers that he can travel faster on the ground than the ball can in the air. I missed something along the way, Skip. You and I both know I'm not trying to discredit Russ because he is great. But to say that he's getting these rebounds like everybody else gets their rebounds, it's almost like he's a running back and he has those guys protecting him. You know, Emmitt Smith had those big old holes because their job was to make sure the holes were open. Steven Adams, boxing out, he only tried to get the rebound. Here come Russ. First of all, Russ got to take a jumper. Why is Russ under the basket? Why is he not challenging? Well, I'm missing something, Skip. You and I both know, Skip. I know, look, you love Russ. He plays hard, and he does. He doesn't cheat the fans. Whether he's at home or on the road, you know you're going to get 100% effort. But to say he didn't stat chase, or he didn't try to get Skip. Think about that. 16 rebounds. He had 20 rebounds. The last guard to have 20 rebounds, one fast lever, played with the Denver Nuggets. A lot of people don't know him, but he was a tremendous two-way guard. He
was.
20 rebounds for a 6'3" guard that hadn't been done since 1990. Now, in the last two games, he needs 34. He needs 34 rebounds. Joe, in his last two games, he gets 16 by the third quarter. But hey, that's nothing to look at here. Nothing to see here. Move it along, son. I see everything, and you know it, and I know it. You can't even deny that. Deny it. I dare you to try.
You know what I loved about yesterday's shoot-around interview? Russ got asked a question that had nothing to do with this, and he just launched, I'm convinced, on you. And he said, if I go out and get 15 rebounds, so be it. If I go out and get 20 rebounds, what's wrong with that? And what did he do last night, Shannon Sharp?
He went and got 20.
He got 20. He just ended it off with 20. Boom. Averaged 10.1 for the year.
Yeah.
First of all, I want to congratulate Russell Westbrook on doing something no human has ever done. For the second time, he averaged a triple-double for the entire season. Even you would have to admit that's pretty great.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Stealing rebounds, though.
Stealing rebounds, says Shannon Sharp. So, to me, you are being so unfair, so wrong-headed, so un-Shannon Sharp, because in this case, I would think that greatness would recognize greatness.
Yeah!
That greatness would applaud greatness, because in the end, what is rebounding to me? Number one, it's just being tall, right? You can just be tall and get a lot of rebounds by accident because you're 7'2", right?
Yes.
Or you can anticipate the bounce of the basketball. I thought the greatest knack for that was Dennis Rodman's, because he was a below-the-rim rebounder who could just sort of watch the arc of the shot and think, oh, it's going to be a long rebound or a short rebound, right?
Correct.
And anticipate the carom of the basketball.
Correct.
Or you could just want the thing worse than anybody else wants it, and that is Russell Westbrook, who finally said, a little later in his career, it took a while, I can just outfight any of those 7-footers for the basketball because I want it worse than they do.
Hold on, so let me get this straight.
Yeah.
So this fight has always been in him, but the first 8 years, it never surfaced.
Not 8 years, because I'm looking back, started 6 years ago, so not in his first 3 years, although he was a very good guard rebounder. He's only 6'3".
6'3".
Okay, so his first 4 years in the league, he goes 4'9", 4'9", 4'6", 4'6". That's still almost 5 rebounds a game, which for most point guards would be pretty decent, right? And then all of a sudden it goes 5'2", 5'7", 7'3", 7'8", 10'7", 10'1". Whoa! So Russell Westbrook, as he got his man body in the National Basketball Association,
he got his man
body. Wow. He said, oh, wait a second. My heart is bigger than the heart of a lot of 7-footers. Because even this year, look at the people he out-rebounded per game. This is just shameful. LeBron James. He out-rebounded LeBron. How is that possible? How about Greek Freak? How could you out-rebound the Freak? How about Kevin Durant, my man that I say is the best player on the planet? He out-rebounded his old man, Kevin Durant, his former co-star, right? How about both of the Gasol brothers? How about Draymond Green? How about Steven Adams, his own teammate? How can you out-rebound them just because your heart is bigger than theirs?
Yeah, it's easy to do. It's easy to rush for more yards than an offensive lineman when he's blocking for you. And that's what Steven Adams did. LeBron James could have 50. First of all, Skip, Russell Westbrook is the only guard that stands on the free throw line every time somebody is shooting the ball. When you look at LeBron, when Tristan's in the game, when Kevin Love's in the game, both of those guys in the game, or Larry Nance Jr. is in the game, LeBron James is not standing at the free throw line trying to get cheap rebounds. Charles Barkley probably would have averaged 20 rebounds.
Where would you, Shannon Sharp, if you were coaching the Oklahoma City Thunder, want your best rebounder? As close to the basket as you could get him. Why wouldn't you? I don't get it. What's wrong with that? Are you trying to disqualify him because he's the quote-unquote point guard?
Skip, I'm saying, what happened to the outlet pass? So are you telling me that Russell Westbrook can get the ball off the rim and dribble to half court quicker than Steven Adams can rebound the ball and throw it to him at half court? Is that what you're telling me?
Who's to say that Steven Adams is a good outlet passer? Because I don't know many. I know Kevin Love. I know Wes Unseld, if I can go way back in the day. But those are the two best by far because most bigs are not that coordinated enough to complete touchdown passes to half court to their breakaway point guard. I'm sorry, I don't see it.
Steven Adams.
How many outlet passes have you seen Steven Adams throw in his life?
I mean, think about this. Steven Adams averages 5.1 offensive rebounds a game. And in the last 2 games, he's gotten 2. He's gotten 2 rebounds.
Well, there you go. Now, I told you, last night was stat padding because he needed it and he got it. Against the Memphis Grizzlies. Did it really matter to the standings? Did it matter to the seed?
I mean, how many rebounds would Charles Barkley or Oakley or some of these great rebounders would have had if everybody boxed out so they could get the rebound?
How many more rebounds could Charles Barkley have gotten if he'd really cared about rebounding? Seriously. Seriously.
Okay,
he really wanted the basketball.
What about Karl Malone? I take Malone. I take Mailman.
He had a big heart.
Yeah.
I'll give you that one.
So if Mark Eaton and Thurl Bailey and Darryl Griffith and John Stockton they boxed out and say, Mailman, you get that.
If Russell Westbrook had played with Karl Malone would have been motivated like a wild man to say, I ain't letting that point guard come over my back and get the basketball. I'm going to box him out to get the board.
They have him boxed out and they see it's him and they pull their hands down. You saw that. You saw the montage.
Happens occasionally, and they said they've got a play where Steven Adams will box if the ball, you can't plan it, you can't call it because you don't know where the ball is going to rebound, right? You don't know where it's going to carry him to.
Most people's point guard is not standing on the free throw line when the team is shooting free throws.
I don't care how you get the rebounds. Joy Taylor, what executive do you love who's still running the Miami Heat? Could you remind me? Pat Riley? What did Pat Riley famously say about winning championships? Do you remember his famous quote?
No.
No rebounds, no rings, right?
Yeah.
That's what he said when he was with the Knicks.
Oh, is that where Rob Parker got that?
Yeah, kind of.
From?
Yeah, kind of. No rebounds, no rings. So Russell Westbrook has led the Thunder last year to the #1 rebounding team in all of basketball. Where did it get him? Well, they weren't good enough because he didn't have any help except for what was left of Steven Adams, who'd gotten his money and didn't really want to play that hard last year. Now he's got help. Now they are the #2 rebounding team. They're tied for second with Denver. By the way, your guy Jokic, he just got throttled by Taj Gibson last night.
You see the monster numbers he put up.
Yeah, he put up monster numbers until the game was on the line, and then he went for the last, 10 minutes of the game and didn't score? I don't know. But that's Jokic. He's another 7-footer. He's a pretty good rebounder. But the point is, in this case, tied for second with Denver for the best rebounding team in basketball, just behind the top rebounding team, which is the Sixers. We're going to get to the Sixers.
We ain't talking about the Sixers.
Well, we're going to talk about them versus LeBron James. But my point is, Russ makes them one of the best rebounding teams in basketball, which in this postseason, now that he's got Paul George, and now he's got Melo, who by the way, has averaged 6 rebounds a game for his whole career at 6 feet 8 inches tall. Explain that to me. You can't. He just doesn't have the heart for going after the basketball.
Well, Muggsy Bogues averaged 1 year more rebounds than Brook Lopez.
Okay.
So I can't explain that. But in fact, Skip, I'm not saying Russell is not getting the rebounds. He's getting them. But he's getting them in a very unconventional manner. Normally, teammates in basketball do not box their guy out so someone else can grab the rebound. They box out so they can grab the rebound. We've seen in the montage several occasions That was just something I just threw together, a little compilation I just put together this morning. Okay. If I'd had some real time, had me an editor, I need to hire me an editor.
Wait, are you? Ooh, did he just take a shot at our staff?
I'm gonna hire me I'm gonna have my own editor. To put my compilations together.
Because they didn't put a very convincing package together. It didn't convince me.
Oh, they showed that? I didn't even know.
I wasn't.
I was starting to do it like Skip. I don't know if we have this or not. Do we have it? Oh, yeah.
Well, all I know is that Russell Westbrook, who you just accused of not defending, do you realize he finished the entire 82-game stretch? What are we watching?
Watch this. Look at this. Really, Skip Bayless? You just saw Steven Adams move out the way so the man could get a ball.
He just pulled his hand back.
Yeah.
Oh, and so how you supposed to rebound if you pulled your hand back?
Wait, you want to break your finger?
Who's the
Joy? Don't do that, Joy. You
Shannon Sharp. Who's the best rebounder on the Oklahoma City Thunder? Help me out. Who is it?
Steven Adams.
No, it's not. It's Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
I want Russell to get his hands on as many balls as. Yeah, you don't, and we'll get to why. But before I finish this, you say he does not defend. Do you realize Russell Westbrook in individual defensive win shares finished 23rd in the league? That's pretty great. 23rd, that's a good number. 20. And speaking of number 23, he finished 309. LeBron James was 309. Russell Westbrook defended at a high level.
What about,
okay,
where did Russell finish in PER and where did LeBron finish? You got that still over there?
No, he finished a little higher.
Oh, little.
LeBron,
just a little?
Yeah, PER just takes into account your offensive production.
Don't do that, Skip. See what you did, Skip.
This was such a sensational year for Russell Westbrook because remember this, he took 254 fewer shots than he took a year ago.
Which means less misses.
He had more help. He had 60 fewer rebounds because he was sacrificing part of his game for his teammates who could rebound a little bit better.
Hold on, Skip. He says he works hard every night. Yeah. So why is he sacrificing rebounding?
Because he
had
more help.
Really?
And his usage rate fell pretty dramatically, actually. His usage rate was 42%. That means he had the ball in his hand last year 42% of the time. It was only 34% this year. Yet his plus-minus went all the way up by 134 points, up to 383. He was a plus 383 when he was on the floor. So this team was much better. Even though the record's the same, this team is much better and much more dangerous in the postseason because Russ's turnovers are down by 57 from a year ago. His steals are up by 15. He just had a much better all-around basketball year while continuing to play as hard night in and night out, possession after possession, as I've ever seen anybody play in all my years watching the NBA. And you are trying to rip and slash.
I'm trying to figure out why was his rebounding, why was he sacrificing rebounding?
Because he had better rebounders. He's down 60 from last year.
You just told me that Carmelo Anthony was a pathetic rebounder at 6'8" tall. That's what you just told me.
He's a shameful.
You told me that Steven Adams is terrible. How can Steven Adams at 7 foot tall?
Well, he bounced back. He bounced back this year. He was up to 9. So that's realistic for him.
I'm just trying to figure out in his first 8 years when he had only 6 games of 15 or more rebounding, what transpired over the last 2? Where did this sudden burst come from?
It came from a year ago. I told you he decided, wait a second. There's this thing called the triple-double, and everybody focuses on this. They think it's a big deal. So why don't I average a triple-double for the whole year to get even with Kevin Durant for leaving me high and dry by myself in Oklahoma City? Because I can do this, and it will win me the MVP. Did it win him the MVP last year?
Well, maybe Kevin Durant is a wizard because maybe that was a foreshadowing of what to come because he kind of saw it in his last year in OKC. I see where this is heading. Let me get on higher ground before I get drowned in this monsoon that is Russell Westbrook.
Okay. I agree with that. And I've said many times, I love to watch Russ play because he plays so hard. I would not personally want to play with him because I think it would be very difficult to play with him, but he did show me some humility this year. He did sacrifice some for those 2 new guys, and they are a much better basketball team, and if they can get by Utah, and they do have home court advantage over Utah as the 4 versus the 5,
right.
If they get by Utah, they will beat the Rockets, and they will get to Kevin Durant in the finals. That's what's about to happen. Just watch. The tough one's going to be Utah. This might be the toughest series of those 3, actually. It just might be.
I just need you to admit that what you saw, that Russell stat pads, that Russell
They just set up their best rebounder, their most ferocious, intense rebounder to get as many as he can get, and I love it. I would do the same. If I were Billy Donovan, I'd say, get all you can get.
You know I used to be a running back, Skip. You know why I stopped being a running back?
No.
Because I felt the offensive line blocked harder for the other guy than they did me. And I got tired of talking about, well, who man was that? My bad, Sharp. My bad. I get him next time. I said, don't worry about it. You ain't got to worry about it next time because I'm about to move to tight end.
Really?
Russell Westbrook, they boxing out. I've never heard of this. I've been following basketball almost all my life. I've never heard of in basketball, I'm going to box out so somebody else can get the rebound. Really?
So now, can we get to the bottom line of this discussion? Can we get to the deep down, subliminal, psychological motivation for one LeShannon Sharp?
Oh, stop it. Don't
Can we please?
No, we can't.
Because here's the problem. LeBron James discovered triple-doubles
Oh, my goodness.
too late. He came late to the party because I'm looking at these 6 years in here let's go from his first year in Miami through his first 2 years back in Cleveland. That's 6 straight years. He had 14 total triple-doubles in those years. A 4, a 0, a 4, a 1, a 2, a 3. Then all of a sudden, what happened the last 2 years? LeBron said, ooh, Russ is on to something. So he had 13 last year, and this year, LeBron finished with 18 triple-doubles. Why was that, Shannon Sharp?
Because that's what his team needed.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
It's what he needed to try to, quote, chase Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Skip.
Yep.
We don't.
That's what it is.
That's not
It's
what we
okay.
do.
It's okay.
We chart our own path. As you can see, the way we've done things. We will move teams because we're unconcerned. See, legacy is what someone else is. I determine my legacy. Now, you can say, well, he left this to go join D-Wade. Or he went back to go join Kyrie. Or he might leave again to go join Joel Embiid.
He might.
He just might.
Yeah.
But that's him.
You know what? If LeBron had discovered triple-doubles starting in maybe his second or third year, he could have averaged a triple-double many times in here, and you could be making your case. He's better than Jordan.
But LeBron don't stats pad.
Oh, no?
No, he don't take that.
He didn't lead the... Wait, who led the league in minutes played?
Iron Man.
Iron Man LeBron because he was stat
Russ
padding.
said it best. If someone else could get 20 rebounds a night, they would do it.
I guarantee you. I tell you what. If somebody would just box out to make sure Andre Drummond get the rebound, I guarantee you Andre Drummond could average 20 plus
Russ
rebounds.
has a motor like nobody else. He wants it more.
Yeah.
Why don't they start boxing out for LeBron?
No, because LeBron, no. Because while we playing Kevin Love $22 million and Tristan Thompson $15 million, I'd give up so much.
LeBron has no one to thank but himself for that Tristan Thompson contract.
Yeah.
So don't throw that out there. We know why he got that contract. Didn't you guys have due on the Nuggets game too?
We did. No, you lost 2 cases last night. I forgot about that.
Well, 3 with the LeBron.
Joy, stop dry snitching. I can tell you a
Dry
little.
snitching. I'm just keeping track.
No, I don't think. I think you rescinded your due bet on the Nuggets when you found out it was happening.
First of all, you can tell Joy a little sister because she tell everything.
I don't tell everything.
Yeah, you do.
I remember everything.
Yeah, you do.
No mercy. Hey guys, Joy Taylor here. More Undisputed is on the way, but first, a quick word about Buffalo Wild Wings. There's a new boss in town at Buffalo Wild Wings, and he deals in bacon. It's the Bacon Boss Burger, featuring bacon 3 different ways and a blanket of white cheese sauce. And he's joined by other new favorites, like the smothered cheesesteak quesadilla, sweet chili shrimp, and Alaska Cod Classic. All pair perfectly with a Sam 76, a fruity ale with the crisp finish of a lager. Hurry in today and try them all before they're gone at Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports. Available for a limited time while supplies last. Please drink responsibly. No mercy. Next up, the Cavs head into the playoffs as the number 4 seed in the East. They'll play the Pacers in the first round, and Indiana won 3 of the 4 meetings this season. LeBron has never lost a first-round series, going a perfect 12-0. Shannon, how dangerous are the Pacers?
None?
They got no venom.
0?
They got no venom. So if they bite me, I ain't worried about it. Yeah, they take a game or 2, I ain't worried about it.
You think they will?
No danger at all. None.
Wow.
None. 0. Zilch. You know that, I know that.
I don't know that.
I know they're 3-1, but they're not 3-1 against this team. This is a different team. That's a different Bron. You, Skip, you went 0 dark 30. You know what that means.
What does it mean?
The Indiana Pacers about to get up in that hurt locker. It won't be long now, Skip. It won't be long now.
Did he post that picture where he's inside the lion's head, you know, like he's a lion about to clamp down?
No. He got Lance Stevenson.
Oh.
He about to clamp down on him.
Really?
Because you know Lance going to be up to his shenanigans.
Will he blow in his ear?
There ain't no telling what he might do.
He might.
You know, he got LeBron last time. He got a tech against LeBron. LeBron, like, get up off me. You too close.
I think he gets under LeBron's
He don't get
skin.
up under nothing.
Yeah, he does.
You don't get nothing.
Gets inside his head.
Skip. What's his record against him, LeBron in the playoffs? You know, come on now, Skip.
Who used to be Indiana's best player?
Paul George.
George Paul.
Paul George.
George Paul. Is he not? Is he there?
No.
Nope. He's
Victor
not there.
Victor Oladipo. Look, I get it. They took 3 or 4 from him this year, but this team was not like it is now. Most of these happened before the trade.
They all did.
But don't.
They went 3-1 before the trade.
And we had a 20-something point lead.
So-
We gagged that up in Indy. But I see 4-1.
Remember that night, Indiana? Remember that night when LeBron had it over in the corner and got the switch and got little Darren Collison on him? And LeBron drove the baseline, should have been an easy game-winning dunk. And what did he do? Do you remember that? Stepped on the inline. How do you do that? You're the king.
Well, first of all,
Maybe his shoes were too big because they had said the king. on them.
Giannis had done the exact same thing 3 nights earlier against OKC. He stepped out of bounds. But then they could go back and after that play, they looked at it as like, this dude, we got to be able to review this because we can't have teams losing.
Yeah.
So that's what it was, Skip. So don't pretend like.
Did he step on the?
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
But has he not more than made up for it throughout the course of his 15 years of career?
I don't know about that.
What about
That's
Minnesota? Ask Minnesota.
Don't ask me that
Minnesota.
question.
Did he make up for it? Ask OKC. But as I was saying, Skip Bayless, you know and I know, whatever has transpired in the previous, it's kind of like being in a relationship. Whatever you've done in your past, it has nothing to do with me. Now you with me, baby, we good. So now we're in the playoffs, and whatever LeBron James has done this regular season, whatever India's done, it doesn't mean anything. And like we had a cat, Skip, one time when he got his tail caught in the meat grinder, you know what he yelled? He said, it won't be long now. Now, I didn't know as a young kid what he was talking about. His tail wouldn't be long anymore, or it wouldn't be long for us all over. What you think he meant?
You had a cat who could talk?
Yeah, he talked.
Really?
He said it won't be long.
I feel like
Skip.
he didn't capitalize on
Yeah.
that.
Wow.
Indiana, it won't be long now.
Well, how long will it be?
I give it 4-1.
4-1?
4-1.
You give Indiana one
I
game?
will give them a game. Because for game 3, they're going to be in, what is it, Canseco Fieldhouse or whatever that is, that place is they play. Yeah. It's going to be raucous. And they're going to have the hickory jerseys on and, and a blue, all that stuff. I get it. But you know what, Skip? When that man goes 0 dark 30.
Oh, he doesn't know that Alabama didn't get his letter then.
He's 0 dark 30. And when, you know he the leader of Team 6. They're coming in taking people out quick, bam, bam.
SEAL Team 6?
Yeah! He the leader.
Well, I see a different series. And once again, I need to apologize to yet another city because I've been saying all year that the Eastern Conference is going to be a cakewalk for LeBron and company. And I didn't see the Pacers coming, but all of a sudden they won 7 of their last 10 very quietly. Nobody was watching.
How many did we win of our last 10?
I don't.
8.
Okay, good for you. Way to go.
Yeah.
Impressive. You are the prohibitive favorite. But all of a sudden, Indiana rose up to 48-34, which is 6 games better than George Paul's team had last year. Paul George's team.
He had 40 last night.
6 games better were these Pacers without that guy.
So I just want to know, just so I just want some clarity here, and I want all my, all my 500,000 Twitter followers to be watching. I want them to know, so you saying if LeBron, when LeBron James take this team apart, are you gonna say the East is still a cakewalk?
Nope.
Okay, that's all.
Because in a little while we're going to talk about that budding monster on the eastern seaboard in the city of Philadelphia.
There's only one monster on the East Coast
who won me a whole nother case of dew last night. Way to go, Sixers! Thank you.
You know Milwaukee tanks, Skip, so stop.
I don't know that they tanked.
Skip, they
got shot right out of the
They
gym.
wanted to stay in the 7th spot because they think they can take down the Celtics minus Kyrie and Gordon Hayward. You know that, I know that. I'll let you sucker me into that bet, but that's okay. I get it back.
So I'm looking at these Pacers without George Paul, and I like them so much better because this team has guts, it has heart, it has character, and this is yet another group that ain't afraid of no king. You know that, and I know that, and it starts with Lance
I'm glad they
Stevenson.
got guts and heart, because guess what?
Yeah.
LeBron going to rip it out. You'll
Yeah.
get a chance to see it on the floor.
So do you remember that fateful Saturday afternoon about 1 year ago from this coming Saturday, in which I happened to be on my treadmill at my place in Century City, and I'm watching the game, and it stays close, it stays close, it stays close, and all of a sudden I'm saying, wait a second, the Pacers are about to upset the Cavaliers in Cleveland in Game 1. This is going to be a long series. And what happened at the end of the game?
I don't know what happened. Won't you tell me what happened? LeBron did as did.
Yeah, LeBron missed a three with 20 seconds left that could have closed the deal, and all of a sudden the door swung wide open for the superstar, quote-unquote, on the other team, Paul George.
Yeah.
And he had 2 chances to take a last-second shot and turned both of them down and got lucky that he got fouled unintentionally by Richard Jefferson. Remember that? He just fouled him. He shouldn't have fouled him, but it sort of reset the clock and let them – it didn't reset the clock, but they got to bring the ball back in to reset the play. And finally, remember C.J. Miles? He passed it to C.J. Miles, and C.J.'s looking at him like, okay, I'll take it. If you're not going to take 2 shots, I'll take this shot. And, of course, C.J. Miles wasn't ready to take the last-second shot to win the game. It was a 1-point game. And he missed it. And LeBron, you want to talk about dodging a bullet. He dodged 2 thanks to Paul George. And remember what had happened right at the end of the regular season? Remember the April 2nd? Remember that? It went double overtime. It was also in Cleveland. It was at the end of the regular season. And Paul George had chance after he had 3 chances in the game to win the game, and it would have been a nice statement game. It would have been good psychologically to go into the playoffs, which were going to be 10 days later. And what did he do? He stepped to the free throw line to win the game at the end of the first overtime and gagged again. He always gags. That's a guy who looks at LeBron James, and he's like a poor man's LeBron James, but a destitute man's LeBron James.
Whoa. That was unnecessary.
Well, he looks across the floor, and he says, I'm not that guy.
You didn't say that when Indiana beat him when he was in Miami, and they beat him with that game, too? You didn't say that? You thought they had him on the road.
That's when LeBron had the greatest bodyguard ever, Dwayne Wade. Remember Dwayne Wade taking over that crucial, was it game 4 of that series?
No.
When they were in trouble? Weren't they down 2-1?
Yeah.
And Dwayne Wade just said, no, I got this, Bron. I got it. I'm going to show you how to do this.
No, he never say that.
Yes, he did.
When he had LeBron?
Did he not say that?
No.
You know it,
No,
and
he
I
did
know
not.
it. He did.
LeBron James went on that monster streak.
Yeah. So here comes a team coached by a Nate McMillan, who's
They tough.
really good.
Yeah.
Nate can coach. He's in the Coach of the Year discussion. I think Quinn Snyder should win it in Utah because they just were shockingly good. But again, I look at Oladipo. I look at a Bogdanovich. You're going to hear his name in your dreams. He's going to be in your nightmares because he's a 40% three-point shooter. And Darren Collison and Miles Turner. Miles Turner can be beastly on any given night.
Well,
he can be. And then you got a Lance Stevenson.
When did the series start?
I don't know. I forgot to list. Saturday, right?
Skip. When love is in the air?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Skip. Prior to last night, 11-13. That's what the Cavs have done. That was a meaningless game last night. LeBron, go ahead and get in there, keep that streak alive.
Yep.
873. You know what 873 is.
So this series is going to boil down to Game 1 at Cleveland. And this is where, remember, LeBron.
It's on Sunday.
Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
Sunday afternoon, right?
Yeah.
At 12:30 this time, 3:30 East,
Yes.
right? Okay. So what it's going to it's going to boil down to LeBron with a bunch of newcomers who have never been on this stage. Am I right?
Get them ready. Coach
Larry
them up.
Nance, Jordan Clarkson, Rodney
Rodney Hood,
Hood.
yeah, a lot of guys.
Have not been there and
No,
done
not
this.
been there.
He got Kendrick Perkins back. Kendrick got a little run last night. He got a little big sweat going, right? 15 minutes.
I'm surprised. I mean, all that Beijing he got in his beard and on his head.
well,
I'm surprised he could see. He must be with the Carlos Boozer bar.
Well, you got him now because you may need him for 6 or 8 good minutes, right?
Well, we
Veteran
need
minutes.
to hatchet somebody.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. But if Indiana goes in there and steals Game 1 like they should have last year, this is going to be a long, hard Eastern Conference non-cakewalk.
Look, if you want to make it hard, try to steal Game 1, and then we're going to run our 4 straight. So the best thing for you to do to make it,
Oh, you're saying go ahead and win Game 1?
and we're
I'll
gonna
take that.
and we'll take 4 straight.
All right.
Is that what you want, Skip?
I want Indiana to win Game 1, and then we might have a case to do on what happens after that.
Well,
But first, they got to win Game 1.
Can we get a case to do on the series?
No, not yet. I need them to win Game 1. I just said it. I said Monday. Monday, I'll do it. If they win Game 1 Sunday,
You know what? I'm gonna go to
we got
Vegas.
it.
I'm gonna go to Vegas. I'm gonna play blackjack. I said I ain't gonna put no money up. I want to see what kind of cards I get first. What they do to that, Skip?
You know, all records are made to be broken, and LeBron is 12-0 in first-round series, and I don't want to see him go so soon. I love the guy.
I tell you who wasn't 12-0 in first-round series.
Who?
I know a guy that was 0-3 to start his career in first-round series. I think you might know him, Skip.
Because he played in the East when it was beastly.
I think
that
you might
guy,
know him.
When he had to play the
second
Celtics
greatest player of all time.
Pistons.
Did they start giving out rings for a
Knicks.
first-round series yet?
I don't know. Maybe I missed it.
I
Maybe
didn't
it
see
was
those either.
He got
before
the
my
ring.
time. Yeah.
I just want to know when the next time the Miami Heat gonna win a series without Shaq or Bron.
Well,
When they gonna get back to the finals? Skip?
unfortunately, we got Philly in the first round, so it may not be this year.
Okay.
No mercy. The Sixers are red hot heading into the playoffs. They've won 16 straight and locked up the number 3 seed last night. Meanwhile, the Cavs head into the playoffs as the 4 seed. So if these teams meet in the conference finals, Philly will have home court. Shannon, does it matter that the Sixers got the 3 seed?
No, because LeBron James has done something that no other player can say. At least one time in 29 straight series, he's done what, Skip?
I don't know.
Run a role playoff game.
Huh.
Won a role playoff game. In 29 series, Skip.
That's
Nobody else
pretty
can say that.
No.
So it doesn't matter. The game 7 could be in Philly. It could have been in Cleveland. It could have been at the Rucker. It could have been at Rikers Island. When 2-3, game 7, winner take all, they don't want that, Skip. They don't want them kind of problems. My grandma used to say when I was cutting up, boy, don't make me hurt you. Skip, don't make LeBron cut up in a game 7.
Are you predicting it will go 7 if it's Sixers Cavs?
I'm predicting if it comes down between who goes to the finals, between the Sixers and the Cavaliers, I'm taking the land. The wine and gold will be going. That's what I'm predicting. Now, I ain't saying I'm, Willard Scott or I'm not Mark McHugh and I didn't major in atmospheric science. I ain't no meteorologist, Joy Taylor, but I'm good at predicting. This is what I see. How you see it, Skip?
I see if this does happen, if these two meet in the Eastern Conference Finals, I believe it will go 7 games, and I believe we will have many cases of Diet Mountain Dew bet on the game because I will take the home team. Okay. And I believe LeBron will be going 0 dark 30 prematurely this year because he will not get to how many NBA Finals he's been to in a row, like 17 or whatever
7.
It's been.
He's zero. No. He starts 0 dark 30 at the start of the playoff.
I know, so but he's going to stay 0 dark 30 after losing Game 7 in Philadelphia. That's what's going to happen.
Think about what you're saying, Skip. You can't even fix your mouth right to say that. LeBron James losing Game 7, Eastern Conference Finals.
Losing Game 7, Eastern
When's the
Conference
last time he lost the finals in the Eastern Conference?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Eastern Conference, but all of a sudden,
you was in your 40s when that happened.
This team is a force. An arriving force. I'm going to say it again. It reminds me of the 1992 Dallas Cowboys, Troy Emmett Michael, who arrived 1 year ahead of schedule. And this team has arrived 1 year ahead of schedule if, and it's a 7-foot-tall if, Joel Embiid can come back strong from his orbital fracture that you once suffered, thanks to Mark Schlereth, right?
It looks like he might miss Game 1.
He says it's unlikely, but still a chance. He did preview his new mask last night.
Phantom of the Process?
Yeah, Phantom of the Process. There you go. That's some of your Twitter followers?
No, that's what he tweeted. I follow him.
He did that? Oh, yeah. You follow him?
Yeah.
Wow, I like that.
Yeah.
He's a good follow.
Yeah, okay.
LeBron,
You know what? I don't follow anybody, but if this gets to Game 7, I might start following Joel.
Hey, don't worry about it. And as soon as the Game 7's over, you unfollow. You unfollow.
I'd be following him right into the NBA.
No, you
Finals.
won't. You won't. You gonna block. I'm gonna hack Bron's account. And we're gonna be atting you.
I got to tell you, last night you can say that Milwaukee was tanking, but Jabari Parker didn't look like he was tanking last night. He went 9 of 15 and scored 25. That was a pretty big
48 to think about this. 48 to 18 in the first quarter. Really, Skip?
Yep. 48 to 18. Interesting. 46 to 18. Close enough. So I saw threes raining from that ceiling again because this team can really shoot the threes. So I'm going to remind you again, this is the number 1 defensive team in the NBA.
Okay.
This is the number 1 rebounding team in the NBA. This is the number 2 three-point shooting team in the NBA, and that continues to rise because they have added Marco Bellinelli. along with J.J. Redick, who, by the way, didn't play last night. He was a game-time scratch. Shocked me. I thought, oh, here we go again. I tweeted about it. LeBron gets another injury
Stop it,
break.
Skip.
Well, I thought he did.
Did you see J.J. Redick last year in the playoffs? How did he look?
Wow, this is a whole new year and a new team.
Okay.
Because you got 2 7-foot monsters in there, Joel Embiid, if in fact he can come back strong, and Ben Simmons, who you love. You say he's the rookie of the year. You call him Roy, right?
Yeah, Roy.
Yeah,
Roy
okay.
Simmons.
So Roy Simmons and Joel Embiid.
How does Skip?
Wow. What happened on March 1st? Do you remember that night?
The prince have to wait his turn to become king.
Oh.
The king is still residing in the East. He's comfortably on the throne. Prince Charles can't become the king as long as what? The queen is still around. He got to wait. There's a succession plan, Skip.
I think the client wants to usurp the king's
No, that don't happen.
The client.
No.
Yep.
This is no dark pen, Machiavelli. You know what Machiavelli, his famous quote? The ends justify the means.
Yeah.
He says if you're the prince and you want to become king, it's okay to do something bad to mom and dad to ascend to that throne. But Skip, that guy right there, look at that. He ain't going nowhere no time soon.
I don't think 25 is afraid of
Unlike
23.
Sam Cooke, this change ain't going to come, Skip.
Really?
This change.
I think it's going to come.
No.
And I was watching the second unit last night, and all of a sudden, I'm seeing, remember Markelle Fultz, who just happened to be the number 1 pick in the draft? Guess what he had last night?
A dub.
He had a triple-double.
The youngest.
You believe in
He
that?
the youngest to ever have a triple dub, Skip.
There was a Markelle Fultz sighting last night after I kept hearing that he just lost his shot completely. It was completely broken.
He found it.
Yeah.
He got that
found
old
his
dub.
shot. You know what? He can get his own shot.
Yeah.
That's pretty big for that second unit because all of a sudden that Justin Anderson from Virginia,
Yeah.
I'm watching him. He's raining threes. He made 5 threes last night off the bench. You believe in that? Little T.J. McConnell, you know what? He can play. He can give you 10, 12 good minutes.
Look,
He made a bunch
Skip,
of
I don't, you know what I'm saying, Skip. For
Yeah.
me, I look down. When I'm walking, I don't look too far ahead because the danger might be right there in front of me.
Yep.
So I'm not going to even worry about the Sixers. I really prefer us not to talk about the Sixers. Let's talk about the Pacers. But for the sake of this, I'm going to appease you. I'm going to bet all the due at the 7-Elevens that I passed on the way to work. I want all of them to round it up. And if it's a game 7, I'm going to have it stacked to the ceiling in here. That's what I'm wagering. That's how convinced I am that they can't unseat the king.
I have to see if Joel Embiid comes back right, and I'm not sure he will. But if he can come back for game 2, by the way, the Heat have a good chance without him to steal game 1. Yeah.
But then what? And there'll be no hostile takeover, Skip.
Well.
You know, sometimes they say big bank take little bank. That's what they say. Who the big bank?
Well, I'm starting to think Philly is just a better team than the Cavs.
Don't say that. Don't do that. Don't do that, Skip.
Do you realize they just closed out the year winning 16 in a row?
Yeah. So what's the likelihood? What's the likelihood?
They're
You
deep. They're talented. They're veteran. Do you realize Ilyasova and Bellinelli, they've been there, man. They've done all this before.
Skip.
I like
They
this
say
team
when
a
you
lot.
go to the pearly gate, there's going to be a gatekeeper. If you want to go to the finals, there's going to be a gatekeeper. You got to knock on the door.
So wait, you're saying LeBron resides at the pearly gates?
What? No, he the gatekeeper.
Oh,
if
really?
anybody want to come out the East and go to the finals, you got to talk it over with him.
So he's already ascended into heaven?
No, Skip. Don't do that,
know.
Skip.
I don't know.
He's the gatekeeper. And the gatekeeper of the Eastern Conference. That's what LeBron James is. If you want to go to the finals, to face a Western Conference opponent, you must see him.
You must.
You must.
And he must.
And right
see,
now he busy.
He
ain't taking no
He
calls.
must see Philly at Philly in Game 7. You
He
like
busy.
that? You like that?
You know, these real good doctors in L.A., they say they're not taking on any more patients.
They do, a lot of them.
Exactly. He ain't taking on any more, Skip.
Well, the phone's off, right?
Yeah,
Zero
Zero
dark
Dark 30.
No mercy. Dez Bryant will meet with Jerry Jones tomorrow to discuss his contract, according to 105.3 The Fan in Dallas. Dez is coming off a disappointing season and said earlier this year he will not take a pay cut. The report also says the Cowboys were interested in signing Sammy Watkins, and if they did that, Dez would already be gone. We're joined by FS1 NFL analyst Ray Lewis. Welcome, Ray. Good morning.
Good morning.
But Shannon, I'll start with you. Should the Cowboys keep or cut Dez?
I believe, first of all, Skip, for a meeting to be taken this late into the season, what is there to talk about? If you're going to leave Dez contract, there's nothing to talk about. If you're going to keep Dez on the team, there's nothing to talk about. So I can only see two scenarios. Either they're going to release him or they're going to take a pay cut. Well, he's made it abundantly clear pay cut is off the table.
Yep.
Now, I don't believe at this point Dez is tradable. So I believe the ultimate outcome is that the Cowboys will release Dez Bryant either tomorrow or sometime within the next week. I believe that's the only outcome that this is gonna the only logical one can draw from this conclusion, that they're going to meet this late into it. My only problem is, Skip, this could have been handled a long time ago. Why wait 3 months? Why wait 3 months?
Maybe it's because the owner thinks that this is like one of his sons.
No.
Maybe it just took a long time to come to this conclusion.
If I was Dez, I know I won't want to meet, because I'm going to want a chance to go out there in free agency when it's fruitful. Now free agency is basically over.
Yep.
You're 2 weeks today from the draft. Everybody's setting their board of what they're going to select. And so now Dez Bryant is about to be on the process. I believe he's going to be on the market. So I'm going to say Dez Bryant is going to be on the market 2 weeks from the draft.
So what would he have commanded on the early free agent market? Dez Bryant, number 88. He's out there, free of charge. You got him. What would you
he probably could have got about $6 million. He could have got at least what Allen Hurns got, at the bare minimum, because he does have a Pro Bowl on his resume, Skip. And everybody can always go back to that 2014 season, Skip. He did have that.
Boy, that tape doesn't lie, though. And it says no, 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 no. And I'm just not sure he would have commanded any $6 million on the open market.
I believe he could have got that, Skip. I believe he could have got $6 million. Yeah.
Skip, you wore that blue and gray because we were talking about Dallas today?
I was thinking about it because this is actually my mourning colors for, like, M-O-U-R for Dez Bryant, because I love Dez. I had more fun with Dez Bryant in 2014 than I might have had with any player ever, because I was doing this like every Monday, right?
Yeah.
And now I mostly just threw up last year. I didn't throw up the X. I just threw up watching it.
Last 3 years.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, seriously, 2 for sure.
Yeah.
Because you guys know what happens. Your body just betrays you. It just breaks down, and you can't fix it. I think he's unfixable. What do you see?
Look, personally, if you're Dez Bryant, you have to look at this a couple of ways, Shannon. He's 28 years old. You'll probably play 3-4 more years, max, right?
Yeah.
If you're already settled, I try to tell guys this all the time. If you're already settled, then why make your bed hard? Like, I think Dallas is where Dez should be. I think Dez Bryant is a Dallas Cowboy, and he should retire as a Dallas Cowboy.
By the way, you spoke to them when? Was it last
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah. And
did you talk to Dez?
No.
Okay.
No, I actually didn't.
Dak.
Right, absolutely. But I think the opportunity here for him is to ask, what does he really want to do with his career, right? Because if your team has took a not so likely interest against you, about you, then the market has already said what it's going to say. So now you have to say, okay, what's good for me going forward? What's good for my legacy going forward?
All right.
Right. I think he'll make more money off the field staying in Dallas than he will make going anywhere else and play for 2 or 3 years.
That is probably
true. And then trying to figure it all out.
To do it at a dramatic reduction in pay.
But even if he hits the market, if Dez Bryant hits the market, right? Unless he has insight, unless his agent knows something, that some other team is going to pay him a respectable contract.
Maybe.
Then you stay in Dallas.
Okay.
But that was the whole, this is, I believe, and I said this from the beginning.
Yeah.
This is why I believe Dallas did what they did.
Right.
They tried to box him in. Well, free agency is gone. We 2 weeks from the draft. Okay, Dez, here we go.
He has no
You
choice.
either take this or you got to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ray Lewis would advise Dez to come with hat in hand tomorrow, to swallow pride and say, Mr. Jones, I'm ready to take whatever it is next year down to $4 million or whatever.
But here's the thing, Ray. But here's the thing. Help me understand.
Yeah.
If he couldn't make the plays at 12, 13 million, how is he gonna make those plays at 4 million? So what are you doing?
Right. But that's what I'm saying. Like, Dez has to have a real conversation with himself before he walk into this meeting with Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
Right. This is a business decision for Jerry Jones. It's
Absolutely.
simple. Absolutely. Right. And so he has to ask himself, where do I want to be? Where do I see myself in the next 3 or 4 years? Do I make that transition to go play for, change cities, go to a totally different team, change my life, rebrand who you are? That's a lot of transition.
It could, seriously, from a mentor perspective, it could be the best thing that ever happened to Dez Bryant. Just start over, change your scenery, and you don't have Jerry Jones backing you up as your quote-unquote father, you know?
I believe a more important question than what does Dez want to be is who am I as a player now?
Right.
That's the question Dez honestly have to ask himself because he's been lying to himself. And too many of his closest friends has been lying to Dez. If you think Dez is a top 5 receiver or Dez Bryant is a top 10 receiver currently, you're lying to him. He's lying to himself if he believes that of himself. I know how you're supposed to think, but come on, man. You can't, on any good team, you have 3 years of the declining production, you're gone. Nobody is keeping a player with 3 years of declining production. And that's what the Cowboys have done. But here's the thing. What I can't get with, this is what I can't understand with Jerry. Jerry cut Emmitt Smith, who had more rushing touchdowns, more rushing yards than anybody that ever played in the NFL. And he cut him like that. And he's having such a hard time. And Dez is not a tenth of the player or what he brought to the Cowboys with Emmitt. And Jerry's having a hard time letting him go.
Jerry never really got along with Emmitt because remember how many times they clashed over money and Emmitt
wanted his money. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And from the start, Jerry loved Dez, and he felt like he had mentored Dez and kind of saved him from himself and his tough background.
He did.
Texas, Oklahoma State. And Dez was box office. When he emerged, remember, he was on the cover, not of Sports Illustrated, he was on Rolling Stones. That's crossover. That's national, maybe international appeal. And Dez could light it up in ways. Emmitt was kind of boring to watch. You know, he wasn't a splash and dash player.
No, he
scored
have
touchdowns. He handed the ball to the official.
He kept all the balls. Emmitt got every rushing touchdown ball he ever scored.
He did that. No, that's true. But the point is, Dez, thanks to Tony Romo, is going up for jump balls and snatch them out of the sky and scoring, and the place would just erupt. And it sold tickets in Jerry's eyes in ways few have been able to sell Cowboy tickets because he had the next Michael Irvin. He had another 88. So that's why he's stuck here. And to me, you got to cut bait because Dez Bryant at $4 million next year will not be a happy camper. You know it and I know it. He's not built that way. And you say you have to have a conversation with yourself, but he's never had to have that conversation.
At this point in his career, he's going to have that conversation.
If you really think he'd be happy, would he shut up and play? You know, like you don't think.
So if he hits the market, this is a great question. So if Dez Bryant hits the market, Shannon, Skip, where does Dez Bryant land? And how much money does somebody offer Dez Bryant?
Well, I'm saying if at the start of free agency, he could have got more than what he's going to get now.
Yeah, but we passed that.
Oh, yeah, so now he's getting a couple of $1 million.
See, that's what I mean. So are you willing to take that risk right now, Skip?
Okay, but I'm speaking only as a Cowboy fan. I can't care about Dez's happiness. I care about the team's happiness.
Jerry is only meeting with him because he cares about Dez.
He does.
Right, that's why he's meeting with him.
Here's the thing. Jerry has done so much for Dez off the field.
Off the field.
And Dez know what Jerry has done for him. So there's the affinity because there's a lot of things that people don't know that Jerry has been able to do. Dez knows.
Yes.
And that's what makes it so hard, Skip, because when someone has done something for you, you're always going to have that affinity. I want to try. What can I do to make? I want to stay because I appreciate what you've done. But Jerry's looking at it. Jerry's like, this is what I want to keep you too, but at this price. And my thing is, if you can't separate for $12 million, how you going to separate for $3 million?
Right.
I agree.
Right.
So does Dez Bryant have any Larry Fitzgerald in him? I don't see it. Larry Fitzgerald was willing at age 30-ish to reinvent himself as a slot receiver. Do you think Dez can swallow his pride enough or has the football IQ or desire to say, I'm going to figure out how to be a slot receiver?
Well, let me ask you a different question. It's on your Cowboy team, remove Dez Bryant. Who are you doubling?
They've doubled Cole Beasley all last year.
Who are you doubling and not the other defenses coming there and say
nobody? I don't have an answer to this.
Which means that eighth man is going to be inserted in the box all day against Zeke.
Do you realize I don't think they were covering Dez Bryant at the end of the year? The last 4 or 5 games,
Oh, man,
I saw him
they got to cover him now.
But they weren't doubling.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I'm glad you brought up Larry Fitzgerald, because Larry Fitzgerald is a guy that I've talked to on a number of occasions. He and I had a very serious conversation, and I was honest with Fitz. How many guys can Dez Bryant call and they'll be honest with him? Not because they played for the Cowboys, not because they wore 88, not because they're receivers. Have an open and honest conversation. Like I tell people all the time, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Everybody can't have me on their team because I'm going to tell you what you need to know, not what you want to hear. Too many times, people have told Dez what he wanted to hear. Yeah, Dez, you good. Yeah, Dez, you still number one. Man, the Cowboys will be crazy. Cut the tape on.
Do you think Dez Bryant would call you for advice?
No.
Right. So your advice to Dez Bryant after he walks in this meeting with Jerry Jones would be stay with Dallas or leave?
I'll go. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna put the pressure on me. And it's hard to leave because I left Denver after 10 years. It's hard to leave when you've been a place a long time because you're comfortable. You know the offense. They're going through meetings. You already know everything. Leaving forces you to reevaluate. Well, damn, they got rid of me. Am I slipping? Am I that bad?
Right.
They think they can win without me? Oh, shit. Oh, so now I got to come in and shape. I got to come in and shape. I got to show y'all made a mistake. Baltimore, y'all gonna be the benefit of this. That's how you got to look at it. But you know, I was honest with me, Shug. I was honest. Is Dez honest with himself?
Not yet.
I just seen this happen in some legends that I just don't know if it's worth leaving, right? We talked about Emmitt Smith.
The mere fact that they're thinking about it, they want you gone.
Right.
No mercy. The Patriots are reportedly interested in drafting Lamar Jackson, according to Bleacher Report's Mike Freeman. Several other teams have reportedly also been impressed with Jackson's intelligence and football knowledge. NFL Network posted this image of Jackson and Bill Belichick with a quote from NFL writer Bucky Brooks, saying, "I believe after watching Deshaun Watson tear up his defense, he said, I want a player like Lamar Jackson." Deion Sanders responded to the post saying, "About time they get the revelation." And Tom Brady responded to Deion saying about Lamar Jackson, "He's a beast," and it has a lot of exclamation points. I believe it has a little emoji at the end there, too.
Thumbs up. Way to go.
Shannon, do you think Brady's being sincere or sarcastic?
Sarcastic. And it's sad. That's another S I want to use. It's sad. Skip, you know he's not being sincere. Tom Brady does not view Lamar Jackson as a threat. So if they were to draft Lamar Jackson, he's like, I got at least another 2-3 years if I want it. Now, when everybody was mentioning, it was circulating that the Patriots, now that they have the firepower, they traded Brandon Cooks, that they have a second, first round pick, they might be willing to move up and get one of these young quarterbacks. I ain't hear Tom Brady say nothing about Sam Darnold's a beast. Oh, Baker Mayfield, ooh, that dude lights out. Now, he got a burner account because he got a little KD in him. He got the other, you ain't see what he said from that burner account. Lamar Jackson, thumbs down.
Yep.
You ought to be ashamed with yourself, Skip Bayless. You know Tom Brady is not being sincere because this is what we know about quarterbacks throughout the history of time. When they view a guy as a threat, they clam up. Brett Favre's best friend on the Packers was who, Skip? Ty Detmer, Doug Peterson. He sure wasn't chummy with Aaron Rodgers. Joe Montana was, I guarantee you, Joe Montana was chummier with Matt Cavanaugh, his backup, than he was Steve Young.
Yep.
You cut a wage on that? Now, when they were talking about when he was out and Jimmy Garoppolo was cutting it up, he ain't tweet no much. He ain't like, good job, Jimmy G. Woo, Jimmy G doing it. Not one word.
He might have texted him. Congratulations. He might have. You don't know this.
We'll text Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
Because you come off as insincere, because we already know you golly gee whiz. Oh, man, come on, guys. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, Skip Bayless, knowing that he's sarcastic, and it's sad.
Well, don't tell me I'm ashamed, because I'm with you. I think this is outrageous sarcasm and a break from, like a shocking break from typical Brady behavior. because this is nothing but a shot at Bill Belichick. This is screaming to me, take him, Bill. Love it. Go ahead. He's a beast. Even his choice of words. Like, Lamar's a lot of things, but I wouldn't call Lamar a beast because he doesn't, like, run over people. He doesn't. I get it. It's like he has beastly production. But that's not the right word.
Cam Newton, the last two times they played the Patriots, Cam Newton is beating him. But you don't want no guy. Cam Newton has ripped him up. First of all, Skip Bayless, you know this. If Bill Belichick's going to take somebody, nobody's going to know what Bill, because he don't want anybody to zoom up past him and get it. Coach Belichick is not going to let something like this out of the bag. And Tom.
So usually, until lately, Tom Brady has been, to your point, goody two-shoes, PC, say all the right things, play it safe, safe, safe. And to me, you could interpret this as very safe. Oh, yeah, he's a beast with the 4 exclamation points. Thumbs up to Lamar. Way to go. Not with the Cold War that is clearly going on between Brady and Belichick.
Correct.
Not with the backstory that Bill Belichick is still trying to push Tom Brady out the back door into the sunset. Not after Tom Brady opened up episode 6, the final episode of Tom versus Time, by showing the deep gash in his thumb to say, hey, Bill, look, I want the world to see that you said this was more media circus than football crisis, that this wasn't open heart surgery. And look at this. This is a pretty deep gash, wasn't it?
Yeah, and
on my throwing hand.
And what I believe with the root of this, Tom Brady does not come off looking good in that ESPN story for pushing Jimmy Garoppolo out the door. Oh, yeah. Don't think I remember that story. I read that story, Skip. You read it, too.
Yeah.
How
would you feel if you're Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback ever, and all of a sudden the guy who's not your dad, your head coach that you've never been close to, who's never buddied up to you remotely, that you've never socialized with or played golf with by choice.
Because I knew it was going to come to this one day. No matter how great you are, there will come a time.
That head coach has anointed his diamond in the rough, Jimmy G out of the second round, as next year's starter. How would you feel? What would you do? Would you bless him? Would you put your arm around him and hug him?
I wouldn't go tell my dad. Dad, can you tell Coach Belichick to trade Jimmy? Because he don't like me. He won't take me to lunch. What is this?
It's Tom Brady, he was simply the NFL MVP last year. He backed it up.
If he wanted Jimmy G out of there, and then go talk about him and Jimmy G close. No, y'all not.
So listen, look at this. Listen to this statement. Think about deeper what's going on here. He's a beast, says Tom Brady to Deion Sanders about Lamar Jackson. Okay, help me out here.
Okay.
Why would it help Tom Brady to spend all of your draft capital, a bunch of your ammo, your draft ammo that you have just piled up in your storage, right?
Yes.
Why would you spend all of your best picks to go up into the, I don't know how far you'd have to go up to get Lamar, what, in the top 10-ish or so?
Well, no, I don't think you have to go up in the top 10 to get him, Skip.
To make sure, let's say he really wants, I'm with you. They're going to smoke screen, but they're not going to tell you who they really want.
Exactly.
But if you spend all of your top picks, your 2 firsts and maybe one of your second to go, your best second, the early 41, one that you got for Jimmy.
43, I think.
Okay. If you spend all that to go into, to make sure that you get Lamar Jackson, to go up to, let's say in the top 10, around 10-ish, okay? Just to make sure. You might even need to go a little higher than that.
Okay.
So you get him. What does Lamar Jackson do for Tom Brady next year? Does it help make the Patriots better next year? No.
Well,
so why would Tom Brady want that just on the surface of, are you helping Tom Brady win next year's Super Bowl? No. You're hurting his chances of winning next year's Super Bowl.
Now, if they were to trade up and grab old Baker Mayfield, old Sam Darnold, and then he tweet out, congrats, guys, I look forward. Damn, now we talking to something. Now we talking about something. Because right now we already know Tom BSing. Tom is not sincere because he viewed Lamar Jackson is not an immediate threat. He's at least, what, Skip, a year, 2 years away from being what they would need him to be a Super Bowl contending team, because at the Patriots, that's what they play for. They don't play for it.
To get him ready to go win a Super Bowl,
right.
a couple of years,
yes.
I would say.
So Tom Brady, that's not a threat. Tom Brady, like, I'm going to be gone. By the time he's ready to play, I'm going to be home with my kids, taking them to soccer practice every day. So I'm not worried about no Lamar Jackson.
Unless you think Belichick has finally bought in, thanks to Mr. Kraft, but it doesn't sound like either one has. But if they've bought into Tom's going to play for 4 more years, 3 more years, then they'd say, well, let's make sure we get Lamar ready for 3 or 4 years from now. Okay, I'd buy that, but I don't.
And think about it. What we're starting to see, that if somebody says anything like the Malcolm Butler when Brandon Browner, when he tweeted that, and when things about Coach Belichick, Tom Brady's starting to like a lot of stuff that has to do with Coach Belichick in his skill.
Yeah, it's Cold War, but it's open war to me. They won't publicize it because they're not going to take public shots, but it's all inside innuendo between the lines. This is a shot at Belichick. He's basically saying, do it, Bill. Go ahead. Go up there and get him. I dare you.
Old Darth Vader. Old Darth Vader, old Coach Belichick. I like Coach Belichick. He's a good man. Good man. Good people. Good football mind. Good man.
Yeah.
Sit down, have a beer with you, laugh and talk. Yeah, I like him.
Luckiest coach in the history
Stop
of football.
it. He ain't lucky.
Yeah.
No.
Because Tom Brady fell into his lap.
He had the misfortune, he was at Cleveland, and he learned a lot of valuable lessons of how to do certain things. And he says, you know what, when I get a second chance, I know what I need to do. Because there have been a lot of coaches that's gotten second chances and become better than they were the first time around. I played for one, Mike Shanahan.
That is true.
Got fired 20 games in with the Raiders. Come to Denver, we go back-to-back Super Bowl champs.
Yep, you did. I agree. So, in the end, do you believe that Lamar Jackson will be as good as Deshaun Watson? Because that's what the NFL Network drift is that. Like Belichick saying, I want the next Deshaun Watson. Do you see that?
If he goes to New England, he'll be that. He has to go to a system that understands how to use his talents. So, yes, he could be that. Because he's every bit of the dynamic runner. I think he can throw the ball. Now, we saw him 2 years ago go head-to-head with Deshaun Watson, and that might have been as good a quarterback game play between two guys that we've seen, Skip.
And what happened at the end of the game?
The guy ran out of bounds, had the first down. You saw it, Skip.
I saw Lamar have 4 chances to get it in the end zone, and he couldn't get it in the end zone.
What about the guy that ran out of bounds, Skip? Before, he needed 9 yards.
4th down.
Yeah, he needed 4. He got 3 1/4.
I thought Deshaun outplayed him. And I think Deshaun is and will always be a little better thrower of the football than this kid. Just thrower of the back. Deshaun can really rip it from the pocket, man. He can really. It doesn't look like the prettiest throw you've ever seen, but it gets there. And it is deadly accurate. And the bigger the stakes, the more accurate he gets.
I'm still upset at Deshaun Watson.
Yeah?
Yeah, after what he did.
Well, he did it to your guy.
Yeah, because we could have been 3 times national champs. 3 in a row.
Yeah. St. Nick's defense.
I thought you were off St. Nick.
Whoa.
What did he hang on him, 45?
Whoa. What about Coach Belichick?
41. He gave up 41 to Nick Foles.
And his quarterback didn't play well, just like our quarterback didn't play well.
Didn't play well?
Nope.
Wait, Tom Brady didn't play? Are you serious?
I'm Joey.
So, wait.
Joey, that new restaurant got a new location out in Malibu. You know, I got to skip. You know what real estate costs in Malibu.
So he set the NFL playoff record for yards passing in any playoff game in the history of the league, and you say he didn't play well.
Most passing yards in a loss in NFL history.
He turned it over one time.
That's what he got.
One time.
That's what he
just
got.
one time, and that's it. One time. Wow.
Name the quarterback that threw for the most playoff yards in NFL history and took the loss. I'll take losses for 1,000, Alex.
Okay.
I thought you were off St. Nick.
No. I mean, I had to disagree with St. Nick's because LeBron started that barbershop, that docu-series, like what he does. So he and Draymond had it going, and St. Nick is trying to infringe on our patent. We got that copyrighted.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That time that LeBron came up with the idea of bringing a camera in the barbershop.
Yeah. Oh,
by the way, episode 2 is up with C.J. Mosley, so.
Well, hold on. Who? Do you not know who we are? Not get our letter?
No, I think they got the letter and they were like, that's cute, LeBron. You didn't come up with the idea of doing any kind of content in a barbershop.
He's trying to, Skip.
Yeah.
Now, we got very high-profile lawyers out of D.C.
I'm gonna watch.
Working on this.
No mercy. Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Joy Taylor. We're back at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then. Facts.
sports. One of one.